welcome to episode 8, week 8 of the Titanium Entertainment Show. I'm Alex.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Nick.
That was not at all heavy.
Yeah,
did
you
it?
overextended that.
I didn't want to
I want to
double down.
reiterate that before this, Nick said that and it sounded funny and cool and we're like, do it in the pod.
Yeah.
That was not it at all.
No, it wasn't.
You didn't hit the
This
mark.
is like the third time
You pitched
dropping
a
that
joke.
joke.
It was good.
And
the delivery,
I'm Nick.
The delivery was off. Welcome back, guys. Thank you for listening to the viewer that is JK. There's no viewers. Depresso real quick. All right.
I'm watching it, so thank you for myself.
So thank you, James, for listening. We had a big week of trailers. Lot of trailers dropping. Not much news. A little bit of news. But it was because the San Diego Comic-Con was happening. The biggest Comic-Con in the world. Mm-hmm. Everyone's there. Everyone from Marvel to DC to TV
this year
to WWE. Everyone's fucking at that shit. Everyone. Absolutely everyone.
I was there.
Yeah, no, we were there, Nick.
We went.
What?
Oh.
Nick, we've been to San Diego and back.
We sat at the table and discussed
You gotta stop
this.
You're doing it last night, the pronunciation of San Diego, and it made me so mad.
Good. I hope you do. Hope you do. I hope I make you mad. We also saw Equaliser within hours ago. I'm going to change it up. Let's start with this, because this is I think this is one of the smallest parts. We'll get into the trailers later, because the Comic-Con was
dare
big.
you mess with my organisation.
We're going to flip it up.
Well, James, you went to San Diego without me.
Obviously, Equaliser 2, starring Denzel again. The sequel, obviously, to the first, that was pretty damn good. The first Equaliser.
Was it considered a good movie? I consider it, but I didn't know critically or.
I think I don't know about critically, but I think it has a decent ratings on the majority of things you'll see.
I think it was very sort of flew under the radar. Like, I don't think anyone had any problems with it, but I don't think
there's many haters. I don't think a lot of people had seen it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I only saw it a couple of days ago because I was seeing the second one.
I got to admit, I was surprised it was going to be a sequel. At any stage.
I mean, everything's a
again,
sequel.
it was fine, but
but
just one of those.
I'm actually a big fan, not a huge action guy, but I'm a fan of personal character piece action films, and this was one of them, similar to John Wick. So I was excited for sequel, as you guys were as well. Thoughts of the sequel itself?
So sequel thoughts?
Sequel thoughts.
I really liked it.
Nick?
I really liked it.
I really liked it. Wow,
I was going to do my classic.
And that's the podcast, guys. Have a lovely day.
I figured I'd change it up from my classic. Yeah, it was good. That was my reply every episode
week,
up until now. I was like, you know what? Let's mix it up. I really liked it.
No, you didn't say it last week when we were talking about Skyscraper, because I picked up on that. I was like, we didn't say it was good. You just said it was fine or something. I was like, it was decent. Okay. I think it wasn't that it was good, so I was like, oh, we're in trouble here.
That might be as close as James ever gets to saying it.
Legit.
No, but see, I actually really like Skyscraper.
You really liked it. That's twice in time.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, but
that's my new saying.
Equaliser 2. I enjoyed it. I think I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it, because it is a sequel. It kind of unnecessary sequel, something that wasn't, again, highly asked for. And a movie I don't think will make a lot of money. I think it'll make some money.
It's made more in the box office so far opening weekend than the first.
The first, well, there you go. Obviously, yeah. I think we just talked about that. We didn't think a lot of people saw it, so it's interesting to see maybe everyone has gone back and watched it now. And I think the biggest takeaway to this is Denzel is a superstar. Phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Alright, due to my knobheadness, and I spoiled the film, so if it is shit editing, that is why. But the cast was good, I think. Denzel killed it. Pedro Pascal. You can say that name.
Pedro Pascal.
That did not come out of my mouth well. He was good as well. And
I like the little kid.
The little kid, yeah.
Well, not little kid, he's...
they call him a kid in the movie, because he's
like 20.
He's in high school.
Is he?
Yeah.
Milton?
Yeah, true.
Is it Milton?
Wilson?
I feel like Johnson? Milton's way too white.
No,
honestly,
I thought it started
I'm
with
going to
a name.
check this now.
Yeah,
I feel like
get
it
a
wasn't
character's
either.
name?
We'll keep talking while James is Googling.
There's some really great actors.
But obviously, action. What do we think?
As the resident action man, I'm claiming that, and I don't think there can be any dispute. But they choreographed the fights really nicely in this, with Denzel just kind of doing the classic always on the defense and turning that into offense. He doesn't really go at people. He waits for them to come to him, and then puts them down.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well,
the one thing I did notice, it was more gun heavy than the first one. The first one was definitely more combat, hand-to-hand stuff.
Yeah.
In the first one.
Did Denzel really use a gun in this, though? Other than, the end?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, a lot of people were shooting at him and stuff like that.
Compared
to what the first one was... I mean, the first one was kind of tools and stuff like that, but there wasn't much,
It's Miles, is his name.
Miles.
I knew it was an M.
Miles.
That's what I was going
the character
for.
We're talking
Definitely
about,
not
if you can look
Milton.
it up. But
The actor is
yeah.
Ashton Sanders.
All right, Ashton.
Shout out to
Ashton.
Ashton.
Ashton, yeah.
But what did we think of the story? Was it better? The first one, as
surprisingly heavy on the emotions. I was not expecting to be hit that hard
with one
by so
specific
many
side story. Are you talking about? Is that
to be honest,
just in general?
In general, so many of those side stories, like I felt heavy through that. But yes, that there is a particular part where a couple of tears might have been shed throughout the cinema.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
One thing I do think that I think I preferred the first movie in general, and I think the story. But this didn't disappoint as well as a sequel, which always generally does.
Especially action movies. Sequels are very iffy at times.
To me, it's kind of on par with the difference between John Wick and John Wick 2, in my opinion. That I think John Wick is great, and then the next one is good. Like, is that
See, weirdly,
you would put this one underneath? Because I think this one. I don't know that I could rank them, but they're very different movies.
That's the thing that I thought interesting as well. It's really not a sequel. It kind of is like, I'm going to use like this character again, but other than that, there's no real connection. You could literally interchange these movies in order, and you would not realize. I could not show you and be like, oh, this is the first movie, and then play the first one as the second movie, and like this is the second one. You wouldn't blink an eye.
You know what though? I think I like that. Because a lot of other action movies would be like, oh, you killed my brother in the first one, now I'm here
that's
for
the
revenge.
thing. They're not doing a sequel.
Let's do all the same stunts, but with bigger explosions.
Whether it is necessary or not, but they didn't do a movie like, we're going to force the sequel out. Let's go. We're just going to do another movie.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it seemed like. We're just going to chuck in another, what's his character's name? Robert McCall movie. And that's pretty much what it was, which I was happy with.
You know what? I think Denzel's acting might have been they've given him more to do, I think, in this second one. Than in the first one. Because the first one's kind of like just, he's nice, he'll help everyone out.
I think the thing about the first one is the first one's definitely more low-key, and it's all about this one thing that's going down, and it is all about the same, he does the same thing every night, and he goes to work and does this sort of stuff, and everything that's happening is connected through people in his life, and this one girl that he sees at the diner every night. Whereas this one's kind of, you're like, oh, this isn't necessarily straight up with the main story, or this isn't a fight that correlates to anything that's going on in the plot. So that's definitely something that it was different than the first.
And always a plus with an action movie. Didn't feel like Dora the Explorer.
Get out of here, Nick.
Dora the Explorer. A shout out to last week's episode.
I think that if we're comparing action movies to last week, this one kills it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think with that though, it's a very they're kind of not in the same category.
Very not in the same category.
Yeah, I would for sure.
Well, I don't think I'd categorize this as an action movie. It obviously is. But
it's
how many people sit there and go, I'm not that into action. I'd put wage money that there'd be like 98% of the people who aren't into action but maybe are into drama or something like that would watch this movie and quite enjoy it.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not a big action guy. And you're speaking directly to me there because I'm not a huge. I'm not a huge explosions and big battles for the sake of it.
It really wasn't.
And that's the thing. That's why I like it.
A scene at the end, a segment at the end, where you can see they put some effort into how can we do something different from an action perspective, and they threw something wild out there, and it fucking pays.
Even then, the action in that scene is very. It's not
maintained.
Like big all guns out unstoppable man. It's very like, let me strategically plan this out and
it's pretty
work my way from there.
Pretty perfect, like Equaliser. He's like
I think
so
this
in control,
is
so reserved.
more though. I think this one is more of a bigger action movie than the first one though. I think that is something that I would say. Maybe that's something people don't like. I don't know. I haven't heard much about this movie and watched much reviews or anything, so maybe we're in a very high percentage of people that really enjoyed it. But I'd say it's definitely one of the movies where you gotta. It's as I said, it's character based, so you gotta really enjoy Robert McCall. You gotta enjoy Denzel's performance, and I think if you don't, that'd be hard to enjoy.
You don't like Denzel.
I mean, maybe you don't like his character or whatever.
It's the nicest
for whatever
guy of all
reason.
time.
But whatever reason he doesn't entertain you. He's a bit, quiet, or because he does get intense, but he's not, he's not this, fucking righteous, big dude. He's just kind of a guy that gets you done. He's the Equaliser, man. That's the name for a reason.
Disappointed they didn't drop the
I was waiting for the first, but I'm kind of happy if they don't say it in the first, don't give him into the second.
Well, my thing is, does anyone in universe refer to him as the Equaliser?
That's the thing. I think that'd be just a cool title.
Yeah.
Just be, when someone because the whole thing was this: who are you? And he'll never answer. So I just want one time like the Equaliser. And that's it.
But it's not really like John Wick where it's like, oh, everyone knows him as Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
Like with him, it's like, who is this guy and like what have I done to piss him off?
For sure.
Absolutely. I would. I'd like to see a 3. I think. Because I think there's a little bit more you can do.
They didn't do anything to upset me.
With I wouldn't want a 3rd. So like, and this idea of completely detaching the movies, like separate storylines, very thin lines connecting them, is good. But I want to see him come up against someone who's as skilled as him.
Crossover with John Wick. Calling it now.
That'd be horny.
And then at the end of 3, he drops it.
Do you think though this movie gets a little bit?
John Wick calls him the Equalizer.
Do you think this movie may fall into a little bit of category of generic? Does that ring any bells for you guys?
I'm gonna say it is simple, but it kind of avoids generic because it's in the action category that's not a generic action movie. So it dodges it on kind of a technicality, I'd say.
Yeah.
It felt like I should be able to, like, it's generic when I'm watching it, but really it's not. It's just simple.
I think it doesn't take a lot of risks when it comes to,
It's very... and like that sounds like a negative statement, but it's really not. I mean,
I'd say it works.
It feels kind of generic, but you think about it for more than a second, and it's just
because that's the thing. It doesn't take any risks in that sense, and it kind of does follow the or who killed him with like any twists or turns or what are we going to do, and maybe you saw it coming, and maybe you know how the movie's going to end. But I think it works in that sense because you're there for the action. You're there for Denzel killing some motherfuckers, and he does. Yeah. He wrecks a lot of. I think it's maybe I'd say more than the first because he does have a few side quests in there. He might kill a lot less people at the end, but maybe during the whole movie.
Yeah.
Pretty cool action scenes in there though for sure.
Yeah. And that's like side note too. How many of the complaints about sequels of late have they just skipped over by keeping it simple like that?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it compared to the first one. It's not necessarily better or worse. There's no storyline issues. There's no it's just a repeat. Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Well, I think we're on agreement that we did enjoy it quite well, which doesn't happen to us. That we all are kind of on the high side of things.
Like the first one, though, it's flying a bit under the radar. This would be a surprisingly good one to watch. So if you haven't thought about going to watch it,
Oh, but Nick, what if you're short on change? This was your review last week.
If you're short on change, this month, still maybe... depending on where you are contextually, catch up on things like Ant-Man.
Yeah, Nick, catch up on things like Ant-Man. And Incredibles too.
But if you've seen everything else and you're tossing up between Skyscraper and Equalizer 2, I don't think there's a competition.
Definitely see this.
Definitely. Thank you.
Alright, so we'll move on to some big movie news, and the big thing that came out was James Gunn got fired.
James Gunn has good jokes, is what I got out of this.
Right. So James Gunn was let go from Guardians of the Galaxy 3 after jokes about pedophilia, sexual conduct with little kids and stuff like that we won't get into because it is very R-rated tweets.
I should have saved them and read them out.
And then we'd lose all our fucking small following. But
James might stop listening.
He got let go. What do you think about this? And I'm going to start with Nick because I know what James thinks. I'm going to see what his thoughts are.
I just feel uncomfortable with it all, really. Like, I can't blame Disney. For some reason, the mass outroars and public voices and whatever have this weird attention span and this massive amount of power over things like... Because, apparently Star Wars is being petitioned to be remade, and things like that can happen now, and people take it seriously. So after it got re-energized for whatever the fuck reason, someone found it, I can't really blame Disney. I'm not happy about it. A lot of people, or at least majority of this room, say if he's already been hired after the tweets have come out, then
that's my thing, that the decision was already hired and he was, you can't go back on it now. It is fair enough, they are bad tweets.
They're not He wasn't representing Disney when he put him out.
You know, if they're not going to rehire him, which may happen because there's been a lot of backlash from the actual actors and stuff like that they really want him back, and there's people yelling. But we might get Taika Waititi, so I'd be happy with that. But I'm going to let James get into this because I know he wants to.
Fuck Disney.
Fuck Disney. All right, here we go.
James, I feel like when a company like Disney hires someone for a movie, they would have checked all his socials.
Oh, for sure.
They saw all them. If they had a problem with it, they should have said at that point, please clear all this. I'm sure he would have done it and there would have been no issue. But no, they've been okay with it. They've let it slide. And now because people like to whinge about the smallest thing, yes, they're very mistasteful jokes. You can't defend that.
Oh, for sure.
But at the same time, like he said in his apology, he was
James,
a young
said at the
young
top
person
of this segment that he
comedy.
likes his jokes. Continue.
Oh, yeah, no, I like them. Doesn't mean they're not mistasteful, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah, no, the fact that he's made them years ago, it's not like he's just said it now. Then I'd kind of be like, okay, you're being an idiot. But he made them so long ago.
Just for a bit of, context, sorry. Were they still public when this uproar started?
They were still
as of, last week or whatever, they're there, but no one's
they were just way down in the timeline. Yeah,
so you assume Disney's seen them and hasn't asked him to remove them.
I think it's a bad forum to just post it in, because, it is. I can understand within, a comedy stage or something like that. Probably not the best platform
I think,
but
on
again,
a comedy stage, you know what you're signing
we are
up
under the assumption that they did see them, and if they didn't, one, that's bad background checking, because you're big on this whole Disney, we're family company, you need to know who you're hiring. And then, two, obviously, we assume they have seen them. Under the assumption that they have seen them, I think it's stupid now that they're like, oh, wait, people actually care about this.
I don't think a big company like Disney should fold on people whinging about jokes. I understand. I would have been happy if they were like, okay, James, delete your Twitter. We'll lay low for a while, and we'll just continue the way where things are going. They were ready to start shooting.
Well, that's the thing. By the time the movie comes out, this is way long. This is a little bit long gone. They should have just been like, delete the Twitter. We won't address it, and just don't.
I think so. Say off. I mean, how much outcry does there have to be?
It was literally only Twitter outcry. It wasn't. Well, it was big, but there's been worse in the past.
I think it'll get rehired because in the end of it, it's going to make it'll be interesting to see what the effect on the movie is. Because you look at it,
he probably has some legal standpoint there. If he turns around and you hired me under these conditions,
there'll probably be something there.
I'm sure Disney would win.
No,
because Disney's got the money.
But Batista's spoken up about it. He's not happy with it. Michael Rooker already spoken up about it, not happy with it, and his brother is
Kraglin.
Kraglin. So that it's definitely interesting to see what they do with this, how it affects the movie, what they'll do with it. At least it's not during filming, because that would be the worst case scenario, trying to change directors.
Yeah, that would
mid-filming solo. What? No. No, but it's at least they can address it and they have time to approach it, and whether even if you like the movie, just don't rush into it.
They've pulled the trigger too quick on a firing.
He's just standing up. You're just standing up for James. You're like James Gunn. It's like
boys, they've jumped the gun.
With two ends.
Hey.
So
James is fired
James
from
has
the
now
podcast.
stated they've jumped the gun on James Gunn.
Exactly.
It's just uncomfortable, isn't it?
Jeez, if Disney's gonna crack over this, remake The Last Jedi, then that's got way more bloody.
Oh, they're gonna if they
against it.
Absolutely.
I don't want them to do that. Even though I don't like it, don't do that. It's done. You're a company. Back your own stuff.
Seriously, back yourself. He's got artistic talent. A lot of people aren't going to like his jokes, but a lot of people are.
You know what, as well?
He's a comedian. I'm sure he didn't say them with any weight behind
They're
it.
not losing any money from this. No one's going to go, I was going to see Guardians, but I'm not going to now. It's like... Just don't give in.
Was Guardians 1 and 2 not a funny movie? Both of them?
Should have put those jokes in the movie.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm not backing what he said, but I'm backing...
No, I don't think anyone does.
Yeah.
But I'm not offended by it either. I'm
offended.
You are?
Just by saying I'm offended. You have to take my word for it. I'm offended.
He's offended.
Am I banned?
Doesn't mean anything.
Am I fired? Are you going to replace me with a Kiwi?
No, it doesn't do anything. He's just offended.
I'm just offended.
Okay.
I'll get in. Alright, let's move on to the trailers. We got a horny bunch.
Comic-Con trailers. Big.
Let's start with the double DC down. Triple DC, actually. We'll go with DC EU films.
Shall we?
Shazam and Aquaman. Let's talk about Shazam first. What did we think?
We've talked about it a lot coming up to this.
I'm pumped.
How'd it land?
Alex?
James?
I'm wary. I can't get excited for DC these days, just because they've let me down a lot.
What we're going to think, though, what do they let us down on? the group movies, Suicide Squad, Batman, Superman, and Justice League, what have been their 2 movies that haven't really had a lot of backlash? Wonder Woman and Man of Steel. Man of Steel didn't get anything because people didn't care about the fucking DCU.
Yeah, no one realised.
The solo films have been bangers. There's only 2 of them that have been bangers. And this one looks a lot of fun.
Man of Steel had a sequel.
No,
not yet.
No?
No.
Did it?
Batman v Superman.
I think it did.
Jumping the gun, man. Jumping the James Gunn.
There is definitely not
There's
a sequel.
not a Man of
I
Steel. Because it was
apologise.
Man of Steel, then Batman and Superman, which was meant to be the Man of Steel sequel, but they just made it Batman Superman, and then
I don't know what I've done
Suicide
then.
Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League. We got Aquaman at the end of the year, then Shazam,
You know
and
what
Wonder
happened?
Woman 1984.
It was all the shiny stuff from Aquaman's trailer distracted me. No,
nice.
continue.
No, but it looks a lot of fun. That's the thing. They're taking
It
a lot of
does.
lighthearted tone, which is interesting because you take a lighthearted tone, people say, "Oh, you're just copying Marvel," and if you don't, you're like, "You need to do what Marvel are doing because they're successful." So
Yeah.
it's a lose-lose for them. But you got to imagine what a 12-year-old would be in a superhero's body.
They
That's
have got a lot of
really
backlash
fair.
though because it kind of won't fit in with the rest of the film so far.
I mean, it will.
Like, one out
really,
of left field.
you
Okay.
can have an isolated
I can
film.
get it.
And
I can imagine Flash and Shazam kicking
Okay.
it. I can imagine Aquaman and Shazam kicking it.
Symposium. Here's a situation for you. Do you reckon James Gunn was acting like he was in those tweets when he was in the board of executives with Disney? I reckon you can act a little differently depending on who you're hanging around with. So you can have a bit of fun
I'll
as
find
just
out,
Shazam, or you could be a bit more serious in with the rest of them.
The
You're
thing is,
running on
though,
hearsay
the
there,
thing
Nick.
is, though,
You
you
could have
can't
said those things.
Hearsay.
Yeah,
I
the,
could.
the thing is,
Just
I might
walks
not
into
have
the
said
head
that
of
around
Disney,
everyone else.
like, I'm keen, boys. Keener than touching a little boy.
Oh, please
okay.
don't.
The thing is, though,
I think
no one was like, you can't make this movie dark. It was 12-year-old
can't,
boy.
no.
You can't
It
have
is.
Billy Batson being
Yeah.
like, I'll save the fucking day.
there might
I've
be
got all this
some
experience." No.
real challenging personal
The
growth.
one thing I'll give
but he's
you,
a
the
12-year-old.
one thing I will give you, the suit. It looks like I bought it
Are
down
you
the
a
street
bit
it came up.
Is there
Suspicious?
muscles implanted into the
It
suit?
looks like it is.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, he was meant to
But-
be as big as Superman.
But
Yeah.
Zachary Levi
But-
Not as
is
big.
not as big as Henry Cavill.
but it's not animated.
The one thing
Yeah.
the one thing is though, I'm pretty sure it is though, Nick. Lock it in. Mark Strong,
Hot take?
he's in it.
Hot take?
He's going to be Sinestro with the animated. No, the thing is, Shazam's a hell of a lot of fun. He is really a
Yeah.
cool character. You got to
Yeah.
watch anything like read the comics, watch any of the animated films. He's a fun character. So I think he's going to be fun to watch on screen. And he's OP as shit. People don't realize how OP Shazam
Yeah, no,
is.
he
He's
is.
really fucking.
Is he
OP.
as Trump card as Superman?
He's up there.
Yeah.
He's up there.
They say he's probably the second most powerful
Yeah,
behind.
I think he's beat Superman before.
Interesting.
Interesting.
But
Gotta
part 2
start.
of the DCEU
Well, because
trailers.
Superman's
Can I-
weakness is magic, and Shazam is magic.
Magic. What was he saying?
I just like this movie's not going to be received well, though, is it? Really, like
Well, it
so many
depends.
people are going to be like,
Again, it's
it
a
wasn't
lose-lose."
my personal taste in humor.
It's too light.
It's terrible.
But it's too light and you give this stuff
too-
just dark. It's too
But like,
dark.
even if people get to the stage where they're like, "Oh yeah, I can accept that this
keep-
was meant to be a funny movie," the people aren't going to
Just
find
keep
every
giving
one
this
of those
one
jokes
over and over
Yeah.
again. Because
Yeah.
that worked.
That's it. Yeah.
That was
that-
such a good movie.
You know
man.
what though? I'm a
That's
bit.
the tough thing. They've put themselves in this own position where people don't trust their films off trailers.
You always
Suicide Squad
back
looks
your head.
so legit,
It's absolutely.
and then
right.
it was
It was quite. I remember you saying this as well. It's quite funny because after the Batman and Superman thing, it was like, "Oh, Suicide Squad. We'll show them how it's done," and they fucking bombed.
because it had such a good trailer.
It bombed. But Aquaman, another trailer. What did you guys think? Because I was actually more hyped for the Shazam trailer than I was for the Aquaman
Yeah.
trailer, which I think
coming
I
up
could-
to
No, like after seeing it.
after seeing it. Sorry.
I think the thing is though, James Wan, we're huge James Wan guys, and we are excited
Yeah,
with this
I
directing.
trust James Wan.
And we saw Aquaman was good in the Justice League, so yeah. But
Yeah,
the trailer did not blow me away. It didn't make me disheartened or anything. I didn't go, "Oh, that was kind of shit." CG maybe, okay.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think the trailer looks cool. It has potential to kick ass, and Black Panther looks horny as shit.
yeah.
Oh,
I'd
boy.
say my grievances are the CG, and I'm not digging the look for Atlantis. I was expecting ancient palace-looking thing underwater, and got like a weird futuristic vibe from it. Which, I mean, I guess they could spin it in a way
Again,
that
yeah, we can never tell until we actually see it again.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Those trailer thoughts, if we come back and everyone's like, "You were so wrong," it's like,
Yeah.
what can you literally
Yeah.
just point out? Suicide Squad look like an absolute
No shit.
banger.
Their
And that
trailers
was
were
trash.
fly.
Baller and
So-
Blitz, they had me at Baller and Blitz.
That's
so
it.
we're interested. Nick, what are your thoughts on the Aquaman?
I mean, I'm in a similar position to James. I'm a little bit skeptical. It doesn't happen too much though. I mean, but it might not be the absolute finalized cut of the things. They might have even thrown a bit of a red herring
It
in
is
and like
December, so
just
that's
turned
the
up.
next
Yeah.
DCEU film. And the
But
end
I
of this
mean,
year.
like at this point though, the film's probably not quite done, and they have to wait for it to be finished to give advanced screenings to test audiences.
But my thing with
and
that,
things still get changed.
Why would they use unfinished footage in a trailer if they had enough? I'd say
some trailers in history, it hasn't happened in a long while, and especially now since trailers are like, oh yeah, here's the whole movie, enjoy.
Yeah.
But some trailers used to throw out sample footage or red herrings and shit.
Two things about those things. One, reshoots are also a big factor. You never know. Yeah. And two, trailers are a honey dick. If you watch the Thor Ragnarok trailer, half of those songs aren't even in there. It's all the big honey dick, and you can never trust a hoe.
Yeah, I'm
as
thinking,
331
don't
said.
trust.
And DC, you are a hoe, so we cannot trust you. I'm sorry.
But
I'm a DC
like
fan
even something like turning down the brightness of the colors and the heaviness of it coming into Atlantis would make that look much more eerie and stuff. And like James made a good point that from what we've seen of Atlantis already from Justice League, it was real like old decrepit,
which
classic.
I think would probably look cooler. But I mean, it's not to say that it won't look dope as hell.
And like maybe that's just like, oh yeah, this is a CBD of Atlantis. Is about 2% of all of Atlantis, and
just to cut you in, you know what shot I actually really did like? The one of him in the aquarium with all the fish behind him. That was a colourful scene.
Well, I was gonna say, they've got a lot going on. That's probably I'm not sure if I'm skeptical or excited because Aquaman fights Black Man, or might have been a bit stale. But it looks like we get some origin story in there. Yeah. Looks like we get some brotherly conflict.
Let's be honest, right? Okay, so two things. I'm doubling down on everything. Well, one, James Gunn is a magician, and I will hold that to him that it's going to be really good. And two, can we just take the fact that we got a dope Aquaman movie? Captain Starfish and, like the most...
Well, that's where I'm getting at.
You got Jason Momoa killing it.
Coming into it.
Dope as hell.
Comedy, series, where we're going to go with it. I think we saw a bit of both. And I think I'm probably happy with those proportions. I like the jokes that we got, and hopefully they're not the fucking top tier of everything.
One problem I have again is the villain juggling. You've got...
Well, that... here. Okay, my call. The brother fight is going to be... No, so we're going to have origin story for the first however much. Brother fight's only going to be the first half hour. Then Black Manta takes...
I was not going to call it. I reckon Ocean Man is the big bad, and we see a little bit of what will happen in Aquaman 2, which I think will be Black Manta's big villain.
I think what we can say, though, is it's definitely not going to be two 50-50 splits for that.
We could have, as well, maybe Ocean Master Big Bad, a little bit of Black Manta, and they're saving Black Manta with whatever they do for this group of bad guys. So what do they call it? I can't remember. Legion of Doom?
The Justice League?
Whatever you want to call them. With, obviously, Lex Luthor set that up, and, Deathstroke and shit. Like, he could play a big part in that, and he's a dope badass. So, interesting.
There was definitely some fight, though. Keep Black Manta for a post-credit.
I'm fine with that. And I said this, actually...
There's too much happening with Black Manta already for him to be exclusively post-credit.
I think...
that's what I mean, though. I would have rathered him... Because it shows him, blowing up, buildings and shit. That looks like he's part of a big fight.
Lantian form, but don't give him the... I wouldn't mind the mask and stuff like that.
There's a really good... publicital shot, I think it is, of him sitting there. I think he's, working on his helmet or something. Helmet off, he sat there. Okay. That looks like a post-credit scene.
That could be interesting.
And
one thing I will say...
I do like that.
But he's already using that helmet in a fight, so...
Yeah, well, I like the idea of him being, full costume, no idea what's going on for the movie part of it, and then, go into the story for the post.
One thing I will say, and I think Shazam are doing it, and I loved it, Dark Knight did it, the Dark Knight trilogy did it, and maybe Aquaman does it as well, is that make the first movie not your big bad. You're not your main, your main foe. Dark Knight was the second movie, and that's the one Joker was in. They had made basically a Batman movie, and they origin Ra's al Ghul. In the first one, Scarecrow was in there as well. And then you gave us the big bad, so it wasn't just about him. They're doing it with Shazam. They're not giving Black Adam, because everyone knows Black Adam, Shazam, they're foes, and they're not doing that, and then maybe we can get a bit of Shazam development to get Black Adam versus Shazam in the second movie. And then Aquaman, they could do the same thing, a little bit of sprinkle him in, and then put him into the second one.
I'm so torn with it, though, because it's he's in this film, and I feel like him and Aquaman have a much more interesting story to tell than brothers fighting for the throne.
I think that might be the weak part of the movie.
Yeah,
That's where I'm putting it out there. That's the first half hour.
Line.
He doesn't want it though. Yeah, I mean, you could be right, Nick. We're agreeing, but that.
I mean,
no way.
I will be very unhappy if they're like first half of the movie fight for the throne, and then they're like, oh, here's Black Manta as the real big bad. I don't want him to do that.
You don't want him to do that?
Nah, I think it'll feel like two separate films at that point.
I think it definitely it comes down to how they approach it and how they do it. If they could do it well by having him getting rid of the throne, like come out to get him off the throne, and they get off the throne, and then Black Manta steps in, could be cool. But it definitely depends on how they do it and how they do it.
You know what I'm really not hoping? This is worst case scenario for me. If Black Manta's working with the king, because he's the most anti-Atlantean. I don't want him to be a henchman. I do not want him to be a henchman.
He won't be a henchman. He'll be a mercenary or something.
Maybe they teamed up because he wants to fuck Atlanta, and that's why they're asking. Maybe, what's his name? King Orm. Maybe he's like, you change Atlanta for the worst, and that's why Black Manta's behind it, and then that's why they're bringing in Aquaman, like he's gonna fuck Atlanta up. Fucking
still don't
Atlantis.
like it.
Atlanta.
Black Manta
They're gonna go into
They're gonna go into Atlanta. They're taking out the fucking Falcons and Hawks.
Yeah.
It's over.
I'm just with Black Manta can't be working with Atlanteans.
We'll see.
He despises them.
So we were always intrigued about how they're going to handle land, water, how much of the movie it's going to be in which. I'm
don't
not
call
sure.
James Gunn about that because he's not happy with that.
He's not happy about that.
You won't take no shit. If you say you could look more wet, it's like, bitch, you can't look wet underwater because there's water everywhere.
No one complained about his hair flowing. No one. But I'm not sure if I'm. There's a fair bit of weird on land stuff going on, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Well, I think with Atlantis...
And some sky stuff.
Yeah, with Atlantis, so if they stick to what Atlantis has been in other medias, it's not underwater inside the actual city. Like, once you're in a room, it's
dry.
Not water in the room.
Yeah, I expect as much just because I wouldn't want to film a whole movie.
Yeah, no, I hope they do that. A whole movie just completely in water might look a little...
it would be hard to watch.
Yeah.
But the thing as well, it looks so much cooler outside of water because of that strength. He's got that, sick fucking dope look outside of the water. So
in the water,
at that point,
is he not just like... He can swim fast, but strength-wise, he's regular to...
I think he's, like...
A lot of the...
Above average, but he's still, like, the Atlantean strength.
He'd just be, like, someone who goes to the gym.
Yeah, it's a strong man. Like, Batman's strength, he's still a human, but he's still strong, you know what I mean?
But then, once he's out of the water, the density makes him strong.
We'll continue with DC, and we'll move on to the Titans trailer, obviously the Teen Titans series. I'm going to ask Nick what you thought first, because this is part of the DC shows. Obviously, I don't think it's connected to the Flowverse as of yet.
No.
But it could potentially be in there. What did you think of it? Because you don't watch any of the DC shows.
No, so I don't watch them. So Teen Titans is always a weird one, where, like the balance between a series, media, whatever it is, comic show, whatever, versus the balance between the, potential darkness of it all. It looks like a TV show. It looks a lot like a TV show. Like
it is a TV show.
It is.
Yeah, I know, but like it's very different.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean.
I thought you thought it was a movie.
No,
TV show. I know what he means.
I know what you mean now.
For the first couple of shots, like they're obviously limiting it to however many episodes or however many clips, so that they're not giving too much away. But it looks like they're framing a movie, or like they're trying to give that feel, like it's going to be like a mini series. They're really like everyone in any sort of media is trying to push for the movie level intensity in everything they're doing.
Yeah.
But this one looks a lot like a TV show.
I think it has potential.
I think it will be fun to watch. I don't think it will be...
I think as long as they're not trying to be edgy for the sake of being edgy. Don't be fucking like, I'm edgy, fuck Batman.
They're teenagers. They're going through puberty, man.
Exactly.
They're angsty teenagers.
Do you remember when you were edgy?
They're edgy as fuck. I'm still edgy as fuck.
Mate, you were disowning James Gunn's tweets. That's the opposite of edgy.
Yeah, but then he was going to go and listen to Fall Out Boy, so...
Exactly.
Fall Out Boy isn't edgy anymore.
Panic the Disco. That's edgy.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 months ago, Panic the Disco, because they've got Big Gun at that High Hope song. But
you know what's edgy? Cotton Eye Joe. That's edgy.
That is
Let's
edge.
do it.
That is the edge.
Just to hijack the podcast real quick. Separate media. Anyone hear Imagine Dragons' new song?
Born to Be Yours.
No, Natural.
No.
No, I didn't know that.
It's a banger.
So after the podcast, we'll listen to
Is that on the
and
radio,
we
or?
might...
It was on Spotify because I was going through Older Man and Dragon songs. It was like new release 2018, so I was like,
Nice.
click on it.
I know they did new one with Kygo.
No, that was there too, but this is even more recent.
Interesting.
If we remember, we might watch that or listen to that during the week and give you the...
I'm not editing this out, by the way. We're kind of keeping a little bit of Imagine... Sprinkle in some Imagine Dragons.
Well, that's what I thought. I was like, I don't want to jump in, but I'm like, I'll forget later.
Alright, but...
Try and remember for next week and we'll ask us how
I think what they should do...
Should we stop and just listen to it for...
They should do Teen Titans... Or basically what Legends is, just like some fun, like lighthearted stuff.
Well, that's what Teen Titans normally is.
That's what should happen.
I don't want it to be quite so cartoonish.
But the thing is, how old are they? Yeah. Because the whole thing they're not calling them Teen Titans anymore. They're calling them Titans.
Well, Robin looks old. He's got like a job and shit.
Well, that's the thing. I think that I want to say deliberately trying to separate themselves from that look, and I think that's sort of it's a TV show. Is sort of like how successful has that been? How successfully have they serioused it up? But they're definitely younger.
Think of the look of the characters of what we saw.
I mean, I like the Robin suit. Don't know the actor whatsoever. I haven't seen him in anything else, to my knowledge.
He actually does act a bit. Brandon,
the actor does act.
He's one of like the 3 out of the 4 casts. He's the biggest. He was in.
Haven't seen him in much.
Was it Maleficent? I believe.
Haven't seen Maleficent.
He was in it. He actually does act. He does. He's Australian. He's the biggest of the 4
Get him
by
on the
far.
podcast.
I don't think the
Let's
dude
get him on
playing
the
Beast Boy or Raven are big actors. And I think Anna Diop, I think her name is, who's playing Starfire, is a little bit, but he's easily the biggest, which is funny. And they've also got Minka Kelly and another dude playing Hawk and Dove. They're going to be in that series as well, which is something interesting.
Just one thing that scares me: Beast Boy CG. That's a tough one.
No, you know what?
Starfire, DC, fucking CG, but also that's going to be hard to do.
Are they going to make the animals green? Because that's what they are.
That's what they think, yeah. I think they'd have to.
But then it's going to look garbage.
Well,
Interesting.
I don't know that I'm sold on how it looks as is. It's a really dark, like, real tone sort of looking show.
Yeah.
But all the characters are like, okay, fucking neons and brights and, like, you know.
Yeah.
There's a shot of Beast Boy jumping and the whites and reds on his jacket were
Dove pictures
filmed in a different room and then put into...
Dove is very white and very light blue.
Yeah.
Like
Hawk
Raven's
is very,
hair,
very,
like
very,
even
very red.
Raven's hair is that purple's a bit much, and there's a shot of Raven going fucking. I was gonna say beast mode, but I can't really do that. Demon mode at the end, and the black on black is just like. I don't want it to be too cartoonish.
Yeah.
They have an opportunity
before we
to go
continue
cool
with the rest of the trailers, though, they did announce the Batwoman series apparently is coming.
Okay.
Part of the actual Floweryverse.
Have they got rid of the movie?
I think so. I don't know. Anyway, but the thing is, they're implementing her into the crossover next year. Apparently, the Legends are not in the crossover.
How dare they?
Apparently, it's going to be a 3-part crossover with Flower Ash.
You're right there, Flower Ash.
Flower Ash.
You took the Arrow. You took the Flash. You took the flip from Flash and put it in Arrow.
Arrow, Flash, and Supergirl, 3 parts. No Legends. Apparently, it was too hard
Batwoman
scheduling wise because there's so many actors.
Cut out Supergirl then.
I mean, a lot of people like Supergirl. A lot of people do. You're in a very high percentage of Legend lovers, man. A lot of people don't like Legends.
Yeah, but I think people are really stailing on Supergirl from what I've seen.
I mean, for sure. I definitely think it's the last.
Like, put it this way, you haven't caught up to date.
No, I think personally, yeah, I think it's my 4th favorite show, but a lot of people maybe have it as their 3rd seed, and a lot of people Legends as their last seed. But continuing with more DC, because this is going to get on Young Justice. Kind of on that note of Teen Titans.
Yeah,
did release a little bit.
The one DC thing I'm really excited for out of this. I mean, the movies I'm not excited, but I'm wary. This is the one I'm definitely like, yes,
this will be dope.
Show me.
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, I'm partially through the first season of Young Justice, and I've seen episodes beforehand as well, and it's a dope season. It's one of those shows similar to this next show we're going to talk about that is a great animation for not young people as well, but for old people, and it's a true animation.
I think I've seen both seasons of Young Justice at least twice. In full, so I love that show.
And I love DC animation is my shit, man. I heard so many of those. They're really, really good.
No,
very underrated.
DC just get rid of live action and just release.
Honestly, the animation stuff is so. Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, just Batman and Joker alone, phenomenal. The people that do the rest, it's DC animation's the tits, man, the tits. But we're going to continue. Unless you want to, any added thoughts there, Nick? No,
tits pretty much.
Have you seen Young Justice?
Yeah, no. So I have. I was watching it TV, week to week, so I'm not sure if I've got every single episode so far, but I have seen it. I am quite the fan. Did enjoy it. That is about 98% of my DC knowledge.
Nice.
Yeah, but not a bad
place to get it from. I watch a lot of DC animations, which is I think I am the biggest DC of the three of us.
I would say so. I gave Alex a Joker keychain today.
I lost it. No, you're gonna cry.
I thought you were legitimately come out like I lost it.
No,
I threw it away.
But the next bit of animation news, I'll let you say it, James, because you're gonna nut what you're saying it.
I know, boys. Clone Wars is coming back.
Now, I have a problem with this.
How dare you? Shut your mouth.
Because James... Oh, actually, I can't remember who said it. One of you boys said, not unlike the next show we're going to talk about, it's a good one for kids and adults. This is just a straight-up Star Wars show using the animation platform so they can do more.
But kids don't love it.
No, yeah, kids love it like kids love Star Wars, but
it.
Star Wars was just straight up we're making this because we want it. There's not even an age demographic for that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
it's not a kid show. It's not an adult show. It's just a great show.
Where was the problem in this?
Because you said kids show that adults would enjoy. It's an every show.
No, I said it's a show that kids can enjoy and adults will enjoy.
Let's make that doubly clear.
Just to throw out, me and Matt earlier were discussing Clone Wars because we were discussing how it was announced. We both pointed out there's a lot of decapitations and violence in the Clone Wars, more so than the films. Yeah.
I would push to not a kid show if I had to pick one or the other. I would say it's an adult,
but I think kids can enjoy it because it's animation. Yeah. Kids are always going to enjoy animation.
There's a fair bit of political stuff in there too.
Yeah, and the thing
is, not quite prequels, but
going back to rewatch because I'm currently in season 3 right now, rewatching every episode. I feel like looking back, I was like, did I just enjoy it more because I was a kid and it was an animation? But it's a legitimately good show.
Again, similar situation, watching it on free to air, so you miss a lot and don't quite get to follow it all. But watching it as a kid, definitely enjoying it, and I'm all rewatching it now, which I've apparently fucked up on.
The amount of references too that they throw in that, and just characters. A lot of things from the Legends universe becomes canon through that show.
You know what's the craziest thing about it? They didn't show shit. That trailer is very, very short and nothing much happens, but everyone's creaming. Yeah. Everyone is creaming just off the news. That's what they should do with everything. The way they announced that the season was coming was through this trailer, because they didn't know what it was. They came up with the screen and it was like a story left unfinished. Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, okay. And then everyone's like, until now, everyone's like, oh, fucking God!
Yeah.
So,
that's the thing.
And an entire room of people creaming.
Have either of you seen how Clone Wars ends?
I heard it's very short and doesn't. It's not meant to be the end of the series.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not going to spoil anything, but the way it ended, it leaves a lot of things unanswered and open. So that's why I think people, because they announced this in just a 10th anniversary panel, not saying anything new was coming. So everyone just went expecting to we'll reminisce, catch up with the cast.
It's seriously been 10 years.
I know, dude. 10 years.
8 till 11. 8 till 13. Sorry.
Poor people watching new Star Wars movies now must be may as well line up for their own grave. But even for us, very young as far as Star Wars fans go,
plus
that's fucked.
I think it's a very smart move for Star Wars in a lot of people's bad books after The Last Jedi, and then Solo, not really bad books, but people not seeing it as much because they're. I'm surprised people are going through the boycott. To be honest. Normally everyone's like, nah, we're boycotting, and then just go see it anyway. Yeah. Solo really suffered because of it.
For sure.
And I feel bad because I like Solo more than The Last Jedi.
I think Solo deserved more money.
People out there, as a Star Wars fan, if you dislike The Last Jedi, don't hate on Solo because of it.
I mean, a lot of people just hate on Solo anyway.
Treat Solo as a solo film.
Yeah.
Well done, Nick. Alright, next trailer. What do we got?
I'm sorry. Is it Disney-driven?
What do you mean?
Do we know anything about the,
Oh, it is made for the streaming service they're creating.
I legitimately just thought of that now. But do we know anything about, whether the original cast and crew, the writers...
Original cast is back, and I think showrunners are back.
They're saying it might be a ploy of why they did it to get attention to their streaming service.
The only thing I am wary about is George Lucas produced the original Clone Wars. That was still part of his...
Well, it's just the one season announcement.
You know what else produced?
It's 13 episodes.
We don't have that in it.
Yeah, 13 episodes is the release.
I'd get off my ass if I were George Lucas for that. I'd jump in on it.
One thing,
it wouldn't have to be a big part, but...
I'm pretty sure Lucas Animation is doing it again, so that's a good sign. But I think Disney is going to play it very safe with this and just give the fans what they want. I think Disney's kind of on damage control at the moment.
That would have to be the way to go.
Well, the rumour is with Abrams and Episode 9, apparently it's a lot of damage control trying to give the people what they want.
Surely. If they're doing shit like firing James, then they're obviously...
Are we firing James?
Yes.
What did he do?
Yeah, what have I done?
He supported some distasteful jokes.
I'm just gonna just to cut you off, Nick. I'm stating on the podcast that each member of this group has made a joke on par or worse than that.
Yeah.
I was expecting a fight then, but no.
Fair. All right, we'll move on.
But no, like Disney's definitely on the they're shit.
We got some Fantastic Beasts to talk about.
We do. Me on the basketball court. Is
Exactly.
that it?
These Fantastic Days.
Fucking
Tonight he was. I tell you, fucking lockdown day. All right, I'll tell you that, my boy. Listen up. He
still as clumsy.
If you
as
see
ever.
number 13 on Scrub Squad, look the fuck out. Look out. He's locking your ass down. Also get an ankle broken, but he recovered.
Yeah.
It wasn't even an ankle break. It was just a fucking jarred leg. But
Jesus Fantastic Christ. Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, I think is the name of the movie.
Is Johnny Depp Grindelwald?
Yeah. James hasn't seen it.
That's a spoiler. That is a spoiler for the first one.
Sorry. No, he can check the casting.
I mean, it's a twist within Johnny Depp's character.
I mean, again, I'm not that excited for the film.
Johnny Depp is Grindelwald.
Okay.
Well, that's what I assumed. The trailer pretty much told me that.
But
yes, that's a fairly
Obviously, the Harry Potter spin-off. I enjoyed the first one a lot. I think it was cool. You obviously didn't see it, James, but I think this one looks cool as well.
My thing is with this is I really like Harry Potter. You know, I love them.
If you really liked Harry Potter, you would have seen Fantastic Beasts.
No, but see, that's the thing. When they announced Fantastic Beasts, no excitement whatsoever. I was like, no one's back.
Harry Potter is one of the very limited series that actually closes its story nicely.
Yeah.
Not fucking Hunger Games. That was shit.
No, see, I actually didn't like the end of Harry Potter.
Why? Neville saves the day.
It was just weird.
But they didn't overdraw it. They didn't go with Well, I was going to say they didn't go with make more money from this, but Fantastic Beasts had already been decided on.
I mean, I'll watch it eventually.
Yeah.
Again, I just was never excited for it.
It felt very detached from the Harry Potter universe.
Which was good.
Yeah, so like, different place, different time, different characters. What is left?
Yeah, exactly.
They wave sticks around.
It looks fun. It looks cool. Interesting to see. It looks like this. It's more
Dumbledore in this.
Definitely more high stakes than the first one, I think, from the trailer. But nothing much to talk about there. But we'll move on to another one. Got
guys, that was big.
Godzilla.
King of Monsters.
Godzilla, King of Monsters.
Now, Alex is a bit on the more skeptical side of this one.
I am skeptical. There's so much room.
As most humans should be for this style of movie. But James and I know for a fact we quite enjoy it.
I'm all in, baby.
If there's a giant monster fighting some fucking anything, we're there.
Mate, you got Godzilla, you got Rodan, you got Mothra, you got, King Ghidorah.
Yeah, it's gonna be big. But, Alex, what do you think about the trailer?
I think the trailer honestly doesn't affect what I thought of it. I think the same thing regards the trailer. The trailer looks fine.
Well, let's try and do it like this. What did you think of the trailer?
I think the trailer looks alright. It doesn't make me... Again, it didn't change my perspective of the movie at all. I think it looked what I expected because there's so many elements, as you just named them all, room to go wrong. So, prove me wrong.
That's fair. There is room to go wrong when you have that many
My prediction is that it won't be a great movie.
You know what?
I'm not saying it's going to be a bad movie, but I don't think it'll be a great movie.
You know what shocked me? They didn't show King Kong in the trailer.
Is he... We confirmed he's in it?
Not that late, Nick.
Well, we don't know.
Oh, pardon me, sorry.
That's the thing. The trailer, people were expecting to see Godzilla.
The one thing I do like about this, though, is that I think this will lead to King Kong versus Godzilla. So
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Are they saving King Kong for a post-credit?
Maybe he'll come in and Godzilla, is the last one standing, be like, forget about me, bitch, and just fucking...
The tough thing is, though, they're both from the protector side of things.
Yeah, no, they've really... pushed like the whole mythology of it all. I mean, they've established this concept of these guys being... Did they call them Titans?
They call them Titans.
Yeah,
because I was gonna make that connection, but I forgot.
Yeah, like an ancient species.
Yeah. But they've really like summarized it. Whereas when you go into the old lore of it all, it's very spread out, and there's a whole bunch of like different sort of things. But these guys, they're all part of the one thing. It would make sense for one of them to turn. We've already had the King Kong movie. It's a continuation of that King Kong, Skull Island.
And Godzilla.
But King Kong wasn't necessarily a Titan in that. He wasn't not. No one said anything about him being
They didn't mention it, but I think he will be a Titan.
It would be very easy for them to turn around and say he's a Titan. That would be also very easy for them to not include him in this movie.
Yeah.
Because he's just something that exists that might rival a Titan.
Yeah. They did classify, though, King Kong will be a lot bigger next time we see him. He's only a juvenile.
Juice.
Yeah, he's a juvenile.
Is he a teen Titan?
Probably, I guess.
A similar joke,
crazy child, so ambitious for the
But, don't know where that came from. But...
You said juvenile. I got to sing piano, but good job.
Yeah, no, but I thought they were going to drop it. I'm kind of glad at the same time that they didn't, though, because that'll be a big thing if, like, Kong rocks up and everyone's like, oh.
So, King Kong, Skull Island, and Godzilla are both movies that people might not know anything else about, and they would still go see.
Yeah. Well, it's a blockbuster.
So this could be a big old, surprise for people. Like, we're sitting here expecting it. Alex is, because, like, if he didn't know, we've told him. But a lot of people might not have any idea of the connection between Godzilla and King Kong. So
I do know a lot about this old, like, thing. I just don't...
Yeah.
I'm very skeptical.
It's more the style of the movie, and no one would blame
Do you know what else made me happy? They held off on King Ghidorah. They just showed that silhouette through the smoke.
Well,
he's going to be a bad motherfucker.
Like, you know, stuck in some sort of ice or just being let out of wherever they are.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering whether they use them all. Because Alex made a good point. The more things you have, the more goes wrong.
Which
Mothra was moving.
Nice.
And that was... Yeah.
I'll use that as my segue, because that's perfect.
Oh, don't move on yet. If you're going to move on...
Could you say that again later? Because I want to segue that perfectly. Continue. Say it again.
Sure
I forgot what I said.
But that's okay. Mothra was moving, and that leads me to how good did the visuals look? That is going to be
the color that was like
super attractive movie.
Dude, that shot of Mothra's wings expanding with the light going through.
The shot of King Ghidorah that you were talking about with the cold blues and the smokes and and even the just like the close-ups and the pans of the people and shit.
Yeah.
That is going to be a real like feat of cinematography.
Well, the thing I'm keen for as well, that they announced someone from Godzilla is in this film as an older version of themselves.
Yep. Calling it now, it's going to win Best Movie of the Year. At the Oscars.
That is the biggest call I've ever heard. That is the hottest of the hot takes.
I would like to say this movie might get a bit of a tip of the hat for some cinematography work. Based
I'd
on
say
what I've
special
seen.
Effects.
Special effects, possibly, yeah, but I doubt it will.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you're reaching for the stars there.
Yeah. So a lot of the characters were frozen or not moving, and there's a lot of space to go wrong, something like that.
Not kind of. Okay, so what you said was the bigger it is, the harder, the easier to go wrong, and that is no more true than anyone than M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong, because the more money you give that man, the shitter the movies are, which is why I am skeptical slightly, but the trailer looked dope for Glass. Last name Glass.
Again, I'm on the same thing where M. Night Shyamalan is an absolute madman, in my opinion.
He's great.
But he nailed Split.
Split was
nailed
phenomenal.
that movie.
I haven't seen it, and I know he nailed it. Like, the amount people talk about it, the way
really
they
good,
talk
man.
about it, yeah.
Those
like,
three
to
together,
act
though,
a
you guys
part
haven't
like
seen
that
Unbreakable, but those two characters as well, with the 812 characters that James McAvoy is playing, that movie is going to be phenomenal. Again, the skeptical in me, because, you know, you can't give it much.
You know who I'm most excited for? I don't know his name, but the bro character that McAvoy has.
Yeah.
Bro!
Yeah.
That was it, but yeah.
Dude, McAvoy needs to do voice work. He really, he's got so many character
And that's not even
voices.
his voice, like, he's English.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So...
You know what I'm most excited for?
You know what he does?
More of the hand gestures Alex used to talk about the skeptical.
Okay.
Sorry.
You know what he did do a character voice for?
What?
Sherlock. Fucking gnomes.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Right. That was... What?
That's Nick's favourite movie of all time.
It is my absolute number one.
No, this movie looks dope as hell. I'm
It
excited
really does.
for it. Nick hasn't even seen the fucking first two.
And well,
Jesus.
that's the thing. Sitting there watching it, it felt like I was watching the movie. Like, that was just full on all out. There was storyline to it. It was great. The characters looked cool.
The battle between the Beast and
any of the Beast scenes.
David Dunn's character would be a fucking cool battle, because they're both superhuman, but they're not. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not like gonna fly, or they're not gonna fucking laser eyes. It's just pure like big strength.
Strong men.
So I
fight each
had
other.
no idea on Split. and I was a bit confused because I'm like, oh, it's some weird horror movie where some dude's gone absolutely fucking psycho.
Well, the thing was,
which
it had no
apparently
connection to
it's
the end.
not.
Yeah.
But I was trying to get, after watching this trailer, I was trying to get someone to explain to me, are they superpowered? What's happening there? And, like, the explanation I got, them watching the trailer again, it was really... I'm excited to see that aspect.
It's kind of still up in the air if they really are superhuman or they're not.
It's all just some
I'm
going
to call someone out that will never hear this ever, and I can guarantee they'll never listen to this. Taylor's sister... call out.
What if Taylor listens?
Our friend's Taylor hadn't seen this either, and he's talking about it, and his sister told him, no, you can't see Split unless he's in Unbreakable. That could not be more false, because that movie has no connection till Unbreakable, till the very end, and then even then it's still not really connected by Split and Unbreakable.
I think the thing was, though, I went in knowing it was connected and then researched what Unbreakable was, because I hadn't seen it. I feel like someone who went in just raw would have been like, why is Bruce Willis here? What's going on? Like,
that's the thing, but even then, it doesn't make the movie confusing. It still enjoyed the movie, you can still really like the movie, so...
Well, that's the thing.
Irregardless.
It's kind of on the same thing with Logan, where it's a superhero movie, but it's not.
Yeah, except there's legit powers in Logan.
It's
still kind of up in there. But
it's gonna be...
From my interpretation, I think the powers do exist.
I mean, they make it seem into that, but
I
again...
think it's going to be a mass Inception deal again, where it's like...
Well,
all in their head. Could it be
decide.
like the power of the moment, when the mother missed the car of the baby to save...
Is it just placebo? If I tell Alex he has a superpower long enough, how long before he starts...
Put it this way, one thing I'm scared is that Shyamalan's going to go off his nut with this. Like, he loves a twist, he loves turns.
I reckon Sarah Paulson's a superhuman.
I reckon she's the villain.
Heard it here first.
I reckon she's going to come out and be like, I am actually a super as well.
Is she the real villain?
No.
Is she the only actual superpowered one?
There's already villains as well, so because, the Beast is kind of a villain.
One thing,
and
it sounds like the Beast is going to be maybe a good guy.
Do we class McAvoy as villain because his only powered thing is bad?
Yeah.
Is he bad?
Well, you can talk to Patricia, you can talk to all the other ones.
But see, even Patricia's not good either.
I mean, yeah, no.
Patricia and Kevin, believe.
There's like 3 of the 55 personalities that are working with the Beast. Other than that, you can talk to him at a fun. There's a scene in the trailer where you see the chick from the first one, and she's coming to talk. I think it's the little kid she's talking to.
One thing, I think my interpretation is she's going to be the thing to control him.
Potentially,
because without spoiling it for Nick, she's kind of the key to
key to everything.
Okay. Before cheerleaders is a bit concerning because watching it looked like they're setting it up so that those 3 are either the heroes or a Suicide Squad type deal.
You've got to watch.
Okay. The thing is, though, David Dunn is a flat out hero, whereas the Beast himself isn't, and then. The spoilers. It's been fucking 18 years. You're bad. Glass isn't a good guy at all. So.
I know that.
Is Glass already out as a movie? No,
it's not. Unbreakable.
This is Glass that we're talking about.
So what was 18 years ago? Is that
Unbreakable? That's Bruce Willis.
That's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say Unbreakable. His character stood out. Like it looked a little out of place.
Who?
Bruce Willis's character.
Oh, David Dunn.
Yeah.
Not that might disappear once you get into the movie.
I think that's part of the movie. I mean, you really need to watch Unbreakable, both of you, because it is very good. It's not what you expect, but it kind of is. It is. It's weird, but check it out.
Yeah.
Again, I've read a detailed synopsis before we saw Split,
even then, I know. I was a bit, that was not what I was really expecting. But, well, I think we can wrap it up there. We spoke about 20 unless we will continue.
Wrap it up, kids.
Well,
shout out to PSA.
With Glass, I'm excited for fresh storylines.
One thing I will notice,
I
think the title might be a nod to something. The fact that they went with Glass.
Well, it's probably just his movie.
But see, I think
the Unbreakable Glass has split.
I do like that, but
I saw that in the comment. I can't take credit for the comment. I can't take credit.
M. Night didn't do that.
There was also what? The Unbreakable Glass is split, and
split the Unbreakable Glass.
Yeah, split the Unbreakable Glass. So bang, bang, bang,
bang. But yeah, I'm excited for fresh things, and you guys, like everyone's, there's a big thing happening where people every movie in existence now is a reboot and an extension or a sequel maybe a prequel. This is just fresh content. And it's M. Night, so there's going to be some fucking weirdness going on. So it's
for sure.
But we won't see it coming. It will be fresh. Yeah,
it will be fresh.
Mm-hmm. There's
fresh.
I'm going to use this opportunity to call you two out. There's a new trailer that has come out for a Steve Carell movie.
Stop right there.
No,
I'm never watching it. Never watching the film.
Stop right now. Thank you very much. I need someone with a human touch. Hey you, I was on the run. We're ending it there. Thank you guys for listening.
That's all, folks.
We're literally not even going to finish that out.
On the on the Wednesday. I have 2 days to edit this. We're coming on a Monday.
It's still going to be shit.
No, but you know how it takes me so long to edit this thing. I have to listen to it. So this is like an hour, and I like the extra day.
Listening to mine and Nick's voices for an hour should be an absolute pleasure.
It is. It's.
How many times do you nut
I should pay you guys for this because the opportunity is miraculous. Thank you guys for listening.
Did you guys know Obama has a Grammy for spoken word? I think we can win the Grammy for spoken word.
The what? You're comparing us to Obama?
Yeah.
All right, we're wrapping up there. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
See ya.
Subscribe.